I want to mention also for menswear, some young designers that are coming up that I find very interesting. Boner, Hed Mayner is somebody I like a lot.
Yep.
I find him very interesting. He has his own signature, and I think he's doing well, and he will do much better. I saw also some of his pieces. There were not many at Dover Street here in Paris. I don't know if you know this designer. You know him, right?
Yeah,
Hed
yeah.
Mayner.
Hed Miner's been around for a while.
How?
It feels like Hed Miner's been around for. Let me Google it. When was it? Yeah, 2015.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm like, Hed Miner's been around for a while. I've been seeing Hed Miner for quite a while at this point.
But I think what he's doing now is like much more visible. It's not a long time now that he's.
Yeah.
That's my feeling.
Yeah, kind of what Michael said. Hed Miner's been showing at Paris Fashion Week for at least 4 years now. Yeah. Hed
Yeah,
Miner's one of those brands that's been around. But I think,
relatively new. I mean, it's not like I'm not.
yeah. No, but it's still like emerging. Like 10 years in fashion is like you're new. That is kind of new to me.
Yes, 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 yes.
Because people still talk about the Row like it's kind of a new brand and it's been around since what, 2005? So,
Yeah, Row is not a new brand.
yeah. But no, I like what they do. I'm trying to put my finger on why there isn't more interest or like intrigue around Hed Miner. It's like,
Why do you think that is? Maybe he's not promoted enough.
yeah.
Very often that's the case.
Hed Miner to me is like our legacy with way more flair. That's like how I've always seen like Hed Miner in my head.
Okay.
Wait, people are still talking about design. Self-taught like Westwood means they're sometimes good because they research and do a particular look and
Yeah, that's
they just
also
stick and
true.
cool.
But that's an exception. But still, she has things. I mean, it's not. Yeah, but it's not like knowing how to do pattern is going to make you less creative. That's it's not real that is going to limit you. This is not true.
Yeah, I think there was a period where people would go to Balenciaga for some of their shapes instead of Hed Miner. That's fair enough. Like the
But
oversized sort of
but
sculpturals, yeah. No, I like Hed Miner. It's
yeah,
a brand that I've always been aware of because obviously, like I said, I go to Fashion Week. I see them at Fashion Week all the time, but
yes, yes.
I'm not like deeply aware of like, let's say, like the philosophy of the brand and all those kind of things, but I know what it looks like aesthetically.
Yes. I mean, who we can tell is very, very new. Like there is
Very
this
new.
design that is very upcoming. Paolo Carzana is called, I think.
Yeah, Paolo Carzana. I
He's
mean,
newer.
there's people like Lego Space Program who has shown at Paris now for I think 2 seasons. I've talked about Lego Space Program. I mean, Lego Space Program was literally in my magazine.
There is
Trying to
an
think
Italian one.
who
It's called
else.
how is Nicola
Oh
Pachuco?
yeah, Nicola Paschetti. Yeah. Nicola Paschetti.
Yes, yes.
The Italians are mad at my pronunciation.
It's okay. What can we
They're
do?
like Pas who?
Pasqualetti or something? I think it's like this.
Yeah, Pascaletti. Yeah, something along those lines. But I actually love Nicola's work from what
Yes.
I've seen at least.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me see if I can pull up his Instagram.
I mean, these designers come to mind because when I see the clothes, I can tell more or less it's them. They have already signature, and for me, that's very important. Whereas other designers that I see that are relatively young designers, when I look at the things they do, I'm not necessarily, I will not remember or recognize anything.
Yeah. But yeah, I've seen a lot of intrigue around Nicola's work. A lot of people talk about, like I've seen a lot of fashion press really talk about his work, to be honest. So I think
Yeah,
it's only a matter of time before
I think
like,
so too. Yeah, he will do very well.
yeah, I think it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. And then, of course, for menswear, we didn't talk about Craig Green. I'm not as a new designer, of course, but like as that I love the collections.
Yeah.
I love the spring summer collection that he did. I always like his collections. There is no collection that I could say I don't like. He's so unique in what he does.
Oh, I love Alexander Skelton, but that first of all, that brand has been around forever. So it's not a new brand. It's kind of like one of those brands that's kind of like just always going to be niche, but people that appreciate it appreciate it.
Yeah. And then there is this, I think he's of Mexican origin. He presented in Paris recently.
Oh,
Willy,
Willy Chavarria.
but yeah,
I've always wondered, how do you say it? Is it Willy Chavarria or Willy
I think so.
Chavarria?
I'm not sure. I think it's Willy Chavarria.
But no, I like his stuff too.
But
I
can
got to
I
meet
say
him for the first time last season in Paris, which was fun.
I I don't like. I mean, there are a lot of cultural references, and this is great. But in terms of clothes, I mean, like it's a lot of zoot. How we call that zoot suit? Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
Zoot
very,
suits.
reference to Latinos in the U.S. Maybe in New York in particular. I'm not sure. But yeah, the zoot suit and
Like
this
black and Latino, yeah.
black and Latino, yeah, but because origins. So can I say that this is interesting in terms of Making clothes, I'm not that sure.
Yeah, I think with Willy,
He
a
brings
lot
some,
of it,
yeah,
it's like a styling. It's more of like a
exactly,
styling thing. It's a
exactly,
certain, he's bringing back a certain time period
exactly, yes,
of like American fashion. Like if you were to take like, if you were to hop in a time capsule and look at the way like Latinos dressed in a certain time period, he's kind of like bringing, that's kind of what his aesthetic is.
exactly, yeah. That's why I.
I like it though. I personally really like it. Like I really, really like it styling wise. Like because
Yeah, yeah.
when I was in Paris, I was in his showroom. So that's why I met him actually. I was in his showroom.
Okay, yeah,
And looking at all the clothing individually, I was like, oh, okay, this is really interesting. Like when you look at it individually, there's a lot of stuff that I would wear, to be honest.
okay, fair enough. Sometimes you need to see the clothes also. Sometimes it's needed.
Yeah, up close and like some of the
Okay.
clothing, he uses some really interesting techniques also. I think I've even talked about some of them. I remember I made some reels when I was in his showroom about it. But yeah, he's cool. I like his aesthetic. It is a
Mhm.
lot more styling, like I said, but I
Yeah,
do like what he does.
yeah, it is more styling.
Someone
Yeah.
said it's actually called Pachuco style. Okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
Let me write that down. Pachuco
Yeah,
style.
because it's more like the zoot suit adapted not to the Latinos. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mexican American subculture in the 1930s, defined by buoyant zoot suits, all set to jazz and swing music. Yeah, kind of what we were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah,
I didn't actually know there was a name for it, but like we
I
said,
mean
it's
either.
kind of like that like Latino zoot suit kind of.
Pachuco sounds very Latino also, so maybe the Mexicans were calling it like this, and African Americans had some variation calling it something.
Well, yeah, because like with most American subcultures, a lot of them tend to be like black and Latino mix.
Yes, of
So
course.
like the way that black people were wearing zoot suits is like slightly different from the way like Latinos are wearing zoot. So
Yeah,
obviously those create like different subcultures and style.
yeah.
Which is obviously why this would have like a very distinctive name. So thank you very much actually, the person who mentioned that. I'm definitely gonna do some research on this after the stream. Someone said like punk before punk. I can see where it fits in a broader aesthetic. Yeah. Yeah. It's also very it's very like Ludan. Like Ludan is another brand I'm a big fan of. Of course, I posted that like detailed interview with Hung La, but it's kind of like something that Willy Chavarria also does is kind of put a focus on kind of like thugs, but in a very Ludan way. It's kind of showcasing like the length and breadth of like different people from the culture, whether it's like the businessman or the thug
Mm.
or the doctor, like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
they dress, or like the flamboyant person, and kind of like putting something on that. And then also it's just so interesting.
Yes.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting. As I said, Malcolm X wore suits like this in his youth. Yeah, yeah. A lot of black people are wearing zoot suits in like
Yeah.
the 30s, the 40s. Yeah, Hung La did work for Phoebe Philo at Celine. He did. He went to the Royal Academy of Fine Arts, I think, in Antwerp.
I
Did
had
Cho
so
Litnum.
now about the. I'm not sure it was about the zoot suit, but I think so. One of the rebellious things about it was also that it was using so much fabric at a period of time where fabric, was more expensive because we're talking 30s is after the First World War. So it was kind of rebellious in that sense as well. But I'm not sure it was about the zoot suit or another kind. But there was. I had read that somewhere a while ago, and I have the memory of this. It's very possible actually that it was the zoot suit.
Yeah. Someone is saying that Willie is kind of poetic. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
For sure. Even like stuff like this, like the shoulder detail. I like that. Like the puff shoulders. No, he has, like I said, I'm a fan of his stuff. And I think from being able to go to the showroom, and actually I spoke to him in person too. So not only was I going through the clothing, any question I had to ask, he was nice, and like he's a really nice guy. First of all, the
Which is
fact he
important.
gave me that much time, because he had like VIP clients coming in and stuff, and he still had time to like answer questions and talk about all that sort of stuff. So no, really nice guy also.
Yeah.
But any other designers? I'm trying to think in this annual recap. This YouTube channel runs on your support. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe to my Patreon. You'll gain access to exclusive content that includes everything from my Patreon podcast, where I give a behind the scenes insight into the fashion industry, as well as a fashion book club where I review my favorite fashion books. You can also check out my fashion ebook, which highlights the best fashion journalists to follow, definitions of common fashion terminology, and how to determine what a good source of fashion information is. The links to everything are in the description below.